G'day listeners, welcome to Barkarati, the sailing podcast. My name's Jordan Spencer and it's that time of the week where we get to hang out with some really cool sailors. Of course, I have to share the microphone with my two idiot mates, so let's bring them in. First off, welcome Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, Exalted One.
B. Pete.
Good evening.
How are you, bud?
Well, we're nearly out of the cage.
Oh, they're going to let you mongrels out.
Well, in more ways than one. We might be going sailing this year as well.
Fantastic.
Hey?
Oh, not to Hobart, I'm guessing. I wonder if that's going to happen.
I don't know. There's word, but I don't know. Anyway,
I wonder if SailGP is going to happen.
There's a lot of wonders.
Yeah, there's a lot to wonder. Let's bring in the other guy.
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
Mr. Nick Bice.
G'day, gents.
Hey, bud.
Okay.
It's a big week all round. Sailing season's opening up. You had a big week of fives, Jordan, your birthday. So we'll leave that to the listeners to decipher exactly what that means.
Don't mention
And your wedding anniversary, 5 years.
Yeah, a lot of fives. You're right. I didn't think of that.
And what do you give for 5 years?
A bit of wood.
Right. So we'll just leave that to the listeners to decipher.
Give them some wood.
But first official duties in the whites yesterday.
Oh, the Bice Commodore.
The Bice Commodore at Adelaide Sailing Club as the CYCSA representative. So I was down there for opening day, where they actually, due to lockdown and a few other things, that's actually where they handed out some of the awards for the state different things. Adelaide Sailing Club won Club of the Year. Down Under Sail, our good friend, our fourth leg of our media empire tripod, Mr. Harry Fisher, won the Sports Promo Award. And because I was there, Harry actually wasn't there. So I got to say a few words for him and check this out, what he supplied for me to say. Big thank you. So here I am in all my whites, got the hat on, got the tie and the whole thing, accepting on behalf. Big thank you to all Down Under Sail supporters. Big thank you, blah, 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 to all the clubs in SA for sharing with Down Under Sail their vision and supporting the Summer of Sail. And finally, Down Under Sail is honoured to receive this award. There were clearly two players in this space within South Australia. And frankly, I'm not sure how Down Under Sail triumphed over the great Barkarati, the sailing podcast.
I love it. I love it.
Good.
That's good.
So, I believe we have been nominated in several states, including Queensland. And if we happen to pick up one of those nominations as a win, we'll be up against our good mates at Down Under Sail for the national title of
the Nationals. We're
Promotional.
going to go into the national. We're in the Nationals.
There's a chance. There's a chance.
Wow.
Hey,
Not sure what the chance is, 1,000,000 to 1.
We'll see.
What I'm saying,
We'll see.
at least there's a chance.
Hey, boys, speaking of all this Bice Commodore stuff, we've worked out a few things. I've had some communication this week. If you guys, you've both been to Marstrand and sailed in Sweden on the island of Marstrand, and you know how good it is there, and the yacht club there as well, I'm sure. They've sent a communication and they've made you an honorary Commodore Bice and an honorary parking spot.
At the Marstrand Yacht Club?
Yep.
All right, so let me get this right.
Yep.
So Marstrand, no cars allowed?
No. So your parking's on shore on the mainland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they've done you a parking bay, and it just says "shit Commodore."
Yeah, exactly.
Dear, we better bring in our guests. We're having too much fun.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Guys, listeners, this is going to be a good one. You're really going to enjoy this one. We're pretty fired up. As you know, the Mini Transat is underway at the moment, and the first leg of the Mini has been completed for most of the competitors. They are into the Canary Islands, and they will be crossing the Atlantic. We had an amazing first leg for the race, so we really wanted to get somebody to come in and talk about that. And then old BP, he's a clever lad. He's got a fantastic guest for us tonight, or this week. There was, in the Proto class, we had a group that broke away completely from the fleet. And we had one of that group was a female. not just any female, but a former Russian Sailor of the Year, so a Russian sailor, and one very determined human being who's really having a red-hot go at being a successful sailor. So we thought she should come on the show and tell us all about her life and what's going on in the Mini. So welcome, Irina Gracheva. Did I even get close?
Yeah, thank you. You are very close to pronounce my last name correctly. Thanks.
He does try. He does try, Jordan.
Welcome to the show, champ. We're so excited to have you.
Hi.
Yeah.
So, Irina, the first leg, before we actually speak about the actual sailing, you're now in full rest mode in the Canaries, getting ready, preparation?
Yep. For me, as for Protos, we were very lucky to finish a long time ago, and we had enough of time to recover, and very soon we will prepare our boats. Our boats already got some rest, but they need some attention and some caress.
You say your boats have got some rest. What about you? Have you caught up?
Yeah. First 3 nights, I think I didn't sleep very well, waking up in the night and trying to check sails. But, yeah.
Yes, I know that feeling. It takes a while to adjust, doesn't it? We had Jess Fielding on last week, who just did the
Solitaire.
Sorry, and he said the same. In fact, he's still going through it, so it does take a while.
Yeah.
Shall we come back to the race? Shall we get started with how the sailing got, and then we'll get into depth on the race?
Yeah, I reckon it's a good idea.
Okay. So you you're from St. Petersburg in Russia and started your sailing there at 12, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. You are very well informed.
In cadets?
Yes, that's also correct.
Okay, let's. All right, you want to keep going? I can keep going all night. There's obviously you've got a great club there where you went in a bunch of older boats. I know about you had a storm early on in your sailing career where you got flipped over, and I think you lost your boat at sea for 3 days. Is that right?
When I was small, yes. It was, as I remember, it was a St. Petersburg Championship, and it was become quite windy, and it was many boats lost in that storm.
Yeah.
Because kids could not handle such a strong wind. I don't remember. It was about 22-25 meters. Yes.
Knots, yep.
And our coaches, we just did not have capacity to help to everyone. Mm-hmm. So we had to attach some boats to rescue kids and attach some boats after motor boats. But my boat started to sink because one of, the...
hatches?
One of the hatches of a tank with air just open by itself, because it was not like a screw. It was like you just lock it.
Yep.
And probably because of a wave or something, it's unlocked by itself. So my boat started to sink, and of course we did not have time to solve that, and I had to let it go. But after we found the boat and we repaired, this was my probably first very big determination to keep sailing and keep sailing with my boat.
So it didn't scare you away from the sport?
Not really, but it was very dramatic experience, I remember. It was not easy.
Yeah, okay. So why did you start sailing in the first place? What made you go sailing?
Unfortunately, I don't have a very smart answer for this, or very inspirational answer. It was, I didn't think about that. I just, my friend, or better to say, friend of my sister, she invited us to to see in the winter. We arrived in the winter. It was a classroom, and we speak about boats. We did not understand anything, but for some reasons we stay and visited these classes to learn. And after I found skipper who invited me on this. It's the double-headed dinghy, and I was in. That's it.
Beaten by the bug. And was that double-handed dinghy the Cadet?
Yeah. It's a Cadet. It's classical triangle sails, jib and mainsail, and you have a small spinnaker. Symmetric spinnaker.
Yeah. And so therefore you obviously had a passion early on, to go through that little storm, to just go down to the sailing club. You must have. Do you remember what made you like it at the start? Do you remember anything about that at all? Why you like sailing?
I remember it was very, very good atmosphere in yacht club. When I started to sail, it was in Russia. It was the 19th. Everywhere in the world, it was 19th.
Yeah.
Do we pronounce it correct? Yes. So, but in Russia, it was very wild time after perestroika, and it was not easy to find occupation for kids. It was not easy to finance the life. It was not easy for our parents to survive. Each of them had 2 jobs, no time for us, and we were so lucky to find this sports section. So we were just all summer we could go there, and we had friends. We found a lot of friends, and I think the atmosphere of yacht club, friends this was keep us at the beginning there. Yep. And after, when you are at sea, you started to feel how much joy it is, and how much joy it is to put efforts on something, and after to see results.
Yeah, that's great. So it's great to see that you sort of found your way, and it's for your parents. It was like a babysitting, somebody to look after the children when they were at work. So, how long was it before you thought, okay, this is the sport that I'm going to keep doing for the rest of my life?
I think since I started to do this, it was always with me. So it was never an option to quit. Mm-hmm. Probably sometimes I was feeling a little bit tired when I started to sail keel boats. It was pretty intense. We were a very competitive team. And sometimes, time to time, you feel like it's each summer it's the same again and again and again. You go to water, because we were not cruising, we were racing. So each training, each sailing for us, it was like trying to get better results, not relaxing atmosphere. And sometimes I had a question, probably it's enough, but after you feel, no, actually it's not enough, and sailing gives you an opportunity to learn new things. So honestly, I never seriously think I could quit, or it's like a lifestyle. Yeah, not just a hobby.
Following your path. That's what we love about the story. Coming from St. Petersburg, did you see the Volvo boats when they came in at all? Was that something that you got a chance to see?
Yes, it was really iconic for us, because everyone in Russia, they read articles about Whitbread, we read articles about Windy Globe and all this high-level sailing, and the feeling is it's so far from you. Like you're here in St. Petersburg, and you're, I don't know, it was not 19th already, but later, but still, you are just a little one in this city, and all this big sailing, it's oceans and races, it's so far, and they just come here to your city, and you can go and see them. And we took boats, all my friends took boats to be on a finish line very early in the morning with sunrise. Yes, it was cool.
That's very cool.
How old were you then, Irina, when you saw them?
I don't remember. 20 and something. Yeah, 20 and something.
Okay, yep.
It wasn't too long ago.
No.
Well,
But it was quite possibly one of the greatest atmospheres. Well, after we'd actually finished that particular leg and made our way up the river, and I believe it was something they'd opened all the bridges for all the Volvo boats to go up the river, which had never been done at that particular hour before. But the actual atmosphere, the streets were just lined 20 deep of people. You've never seen anything like it in your life.
Very cool.
Amount of people that were there. And it's fair to say the party in St. Petersburg was pretty good. So I thank you, Irina, for a great party.
for organising the party. Well done.
it's a little bit late to thank you, but yeah, thanks. Thanks for that.
So, after the cadet, you've went on and sailed quite a few different boats, and you went to the offshore. So I think I've got you down as sailing an open class 800, which I don't know what that is. I've got you sailing a quarter tonner called Quartet, and you've done, I think, the Fastnet a few times, the Middle Sea Race a few times, the Caribbean 600 a few times. You've gone around Cape Horn. So
Yep.
So you really went all in to go offshore, didn't you? What dragged you offshore? Did you like it when you did it, or it was just the way you could go sailing?
When I started to sail a keelboat, I was so sick all the time. You can't imagine. It's my offshore race. Oh my God. And probably because of this, sometimes I was thinking it's enough. Each time when you are like 24 hours sitting wet under the waves and the wind and being seasick, you are asking yourself, why do I do this?
Yeah.
And did you answer yourself?
No.
You're still looking for the answer.
Still looking, yeah.
Fortunately, I am not so seasick anymore. Because of high responsibility on my boat. There is no time for being seasick when you are alone. No. So, and I was searching for a new experience because our offshore sailing with Open 800 and with quarter ton, it was probably 24 hours or probably some delivery sailing from St. Petersburg to Finland or Estonia, which is 3-4 days non-stop. And after I was trying to see how can I develop myself, what can I do in St. Petersburg, I was already not like a beginner, you know. And in St. Petersburg, it was a little bit difficult to find a way to elevate your level. So, and I started to search for more offshore sailing outside. This is how I ended up with Fastnet. It was my first real offshore race, and after Middle Sea and class 40 with Mikael Rukin, Swedish team. We did the Caribbean 600 and we did the Atlantic crossing double hand. So that was...
Didn't you get some sort of a speed record in that double-handed crossing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we set up a record from Bermuda to Plymouth for Manahal.
Oh,
that's cool.
Fantastic.
And there was just two of you on a class 40, yeah?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep,
no worries.
Why not?
Yeah, no worries.
Send it.
Yeah.
13 days or something.
Sorry?
About 13 days?
Yeah, it took a little bit longer than we expected because we got a very big storm. We went through a huge low pressure system and it appears not that fast as we were thinking. So it's not a linear when you have an average 45 knots and 60 on the gust for 3 days, it's not fast. No, because you broach too many times.
Oh, wow.
So your average speed is
Yeah.
yeah. It's not
Well, it had to
very
go
good.
fast. All the Englishmen wanted their socks back. So
Yeah.
So when
And
you,
after sorry.
oh, sorry, when you were doing that crossing in the 40 across, and you set the record, as you said, you were broaching a few times, but did you not get washed off one time when you were steering? Did you get washed out of the boat?
Yes, when you say we were approaching a few times, it's not very correct. We were approaching hundreds of times. It's a little bit more than few. So, yes, because the waves, they were much higher compared to the wind speed, and the problem was the sea state. So I think we were quite close not that close to the center of low pressure, but it was huge. It was really huge. Few hundred miles with 45 knots in average, like a big patch of wind, and it was moving with us, or we were moving with it, or whatever.
Staying with it,
in the same direction.
Yeah.
Yes, staying together with low pressure, and it was a cold fronts, of course, and warm fronts inside, and because of sea state, sometimes the boat was not that stable, and it was not possible to keep it on a course. This is why it was hundreds of broach, and 2 times we met something what people name a breaking wave. This is how I was washed out of the boat. It was coming. It was a short day. So sea state was already absolutely crazy, like probably 12 meters of waves. It's very difficult to measure, but looks like it was
Big.
enormous.
It was big.
Yes, very big, enormous. And at that moment, we started to get probably more gusts from the side, not very straight wind direction, not very. And at that one moment, hopefully it was a day, I have seen from the side, it's a very big wave arriving from really from the side, and I cannot veer away, because if I veer away, I will accidentally jibe, and we don't know what can happen. You really don't want to accidentally jibe in this condition. So I tried to veer away as much as I could, but wave was really on the side, and it knocked down the boat totally with a mast in the water, and I just fly away from my seat. I could not hold it. Everything was very fast.
Yes.
And I found myself just hanging on a safety line. And class 40 of the boat is 4 or 4.5 meters wide. So my seat didn't reach the sea surface. And I was like... just like a doll, with...
yeah.
Just hanging there.
I was very surprised. I remember at first I was thinking, oh, wow, this is surprising. And second, oh, Mikhail probably will not be happy about this. I shall fix everything.
Yeah, the poor bloke down below just going, what's going on?
Oh. Keep it down up there.
Well, thank God you're here laughing and smiling about it, because those experiences can be pretty huge and everlasting, I suppose. So you got through the storm. What did you think once you got through the storm? Was it adrenaline? Was it excitement? Was it, I hate this? Or was it, how did it feel?
We started with adrenaline, and we started with setting up our own speed records. So who would do best? It was like, okay, I did 22 knots. Next one is 25 knots, and 27 knots. And it's already kind of scary. After my record was 29, and honestly, I did not want to go faster with class 40.
Yep.
But,
29 in a class 40. There you go, listeners. Have a go at that. 29 knots in a class 40. That's quick.
Yes, it's quick, and we had 3 reefs on the main, and not a storm trip, Tourmentan. They name it Tourmentan in French. It's kind of a very small jeep, but not orange yet. It's not a storm.
A solid or something. Yeah.
Yes, and Michael, he did more than 31. And after I said, no, I don't participate in this competition anymore. Sorry, I'm out. I give up.
Love it.
Yeah, and from that moment, it became very serious for us. And I think we did not joke anymore.
It's a pretty adventure, cool adventure though. You know, like to be out in the middle of that ocean, right in the middle of the Atlantic in a big storm, because that's a rough ocean, the Atlantic, and you to be able to go through all that and just keep smiling about it, you know, and just keep going and going. It's quite impressive. Before you got into single-handed sailing, obviously you've got close there with the double-handed. All the races that you did, like I mentioned a few. Which was the favourite? Do you have a favourite race that you enjoyed the most?
Before Mini or together with Mini?
Before the Mini. Before the Mini. We'll come to the Mini.
I think my first fastnet was something special, and not because... just because I finally got a place on a boat. It was a 12 crew member, all of them men except me, and I was working very hard to get a place because I did not want to take any girl. The owner of a boat, he really had not idea but opinion that it's not for girls, really. And we were sailing with him before one race, and he found me very good, and he invited me. So I was very happy because I deserve to be in this team.
Yep.
Probably I did not do so much important things like no strategy. It was not my task, and no spinnaker trimming, but still it was. Impressive to get out to the fastnet race and to be part of it, to see the famous lighthouse. Yes, really. It was impressive.
Yeah, okay. It's pretty cool. So then the question then becomes, you're sailing, doing regattas, events like that, you know, sailing on some cool boats, fully crewed team. What's the mindset? How much drinking had you done before you actually said, oh, look at those tiny little boats over there with only one person on. I might go and do that and sail across oceans in one of those bathtubs. How did you get to sailing a Mini?
I don't remember when I hear something about the Mini first time, really. I remember Yuri Fields did it.
Lost a bet.
Probably because of that. Yes. I remember Yuri Firsov did it, and I didn't follow so much his race.
Neither did he. It was okay. he just pushed play and went from one side to the other.
Yeah, but yeah.
He was a character.
That was not very spectacular to follow him, and I was not so much in to follow or understand what others are doing. No, not yet. But as soon as I recognized the Mini is quite small, and I was thinking, it's possible to handle by myself, because I was afraid of big boats. Everything is so big, and you never know being alone if you are strong enough. Or for some reasons, I did not think it's a little bit crazy with a small boat to cross Atlantic alone. I did not think about that. I was just thinking it's small enough it's possible. And also about the money, because you need to buy a boat to do this. Yes. And it's cheaper to buy a small boat than to buy a big boat. Or at least it's cheaper to run the small boats. All costs on site, it's cheaper for a small boat.
Of course.
So altogether for me was, why not? And I was honestly thinking 1 year before I announced my wish to other people, before I really said I'm going to do this. I was thinking about 1 year.
Wow.
So you dipped your toe into the series or the production class. For the people who don't follow the Minis, you have two classes: prototypes and series. The series is a relatively basic version. So your first boat was a series boat. Can you tell us what brand was that one? Do you remember?
Yes, it was pretty old boat, Tip Top.
Oh, yes.
It was built in 2008, and the project was already old because we, in 2018, when I bought it, we already had Pogo Free.
Yes.
And Pogo Free now is winning all the time.
Yes,
Pogo Free is,
we know very well.
Still one of the fastest projects in the serial fleet.
Okay, so you got hold of this boat, and then that was it. You were fully immersed. So you obviously stayed in France. Whereabouts in France did you base, or did you stay? Where were you basing yourself?
Yeah, I bought my boat in France, and I was a little bit late to buy it. I had, for some reasons, I thought I have my time. I thought like it's so many boats on the market, I can choose. No, if you want to buy your Mini, if you want to get a really good boat, you need to think about this 1 year before you start your project. And for me, it was also money. I did not have a big budget, and I had to buy the cheapest boat ready to go, let's say. This is why I got Tip Top in France, and I was a little bit naive, I think, at the beginning. I was thinking I can come and my boat will wait for me, and I come and go training, go racing, but it took full time.
Sure, yeah,
I arrived to France and I left only after the first season. Yes, full season, 5 months.
It is a huge commitment, and there's a lot that needs to be thought about when you do these programs, not to mention the 1,000 miles qualifying you have to do, plus the amount of racing you have to do just to get entry into the race. It's as you said, 1 year is not enough. It's usually the full two year program, which is usually done on a shoestring budget. Yeah. And that's why when you get to Lorient and you go, or wherever you are, and you get down there, there's a lot of mini people living on their boats eating 2-minute noodles.
So, how did you afford to buy the boat? Did you pay for it, or did you get some sponsorship?
Both. I announced my project. I was trying to make Class Mini and Mini Transat well known in Russia. I started with promotion of the race. So I was writing articles. I was established my social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and whatever, to start to tell my story, because I knew I will need to attract some sponsors, because I had zero money. I'm not rich, and my parents not rich, and yes, I was at the zero level. And as soon as I announced this, it was ambitious for a Russian.
That's amazing.
That's an understatement.
It's amazing. We love it.
Yes, and I found some people who helped me to buy a boat. It was my company I'm working for, not my company, but company I'm working for, and I'm still working for this company, not consulting. Together with our French partner, we paid the boat, and one of my friends, he gave me quite a lot of money for first period, so I didn't need to think so much. I could pay all my entry fees, I could pay my accommodation and small reparations on a boat, and but each day, each week, each month, I had to work hard on finding more sponsors for future.
It's an amazing decision, that to make that decision to get into the boat, to buy the boat, to go for it. It's a particularly tough boat, it's a tough class. It's an incredible class for seamanship, and then to find all this sponsorship, and I think you were the first female Russian sailor ever to do the Mini Transat. So to make this whole journey is just impressive to look at from the outside, to have the courage and the ability to make it happen. For us looking in, it is a really impressive effort that you've done.
Hopefully I was not alone. I had my boyfriend, Mikhail Rukin, from Class 40, who supported me a lot at the really beginning.
Yep.
Who was going with me to choose the boat, who was driving with me through France, who was staying at the beginning to help with first sailing, with first preparation, to study the electronics, because it's a small boat, but it's a lot of electronics, who helped me to prepare first road books and to prepare first races. Yeah, I was not alone in my project. I was never alone in my project.
Wow.
Even if I spent a lot of time alone, I was never really alone.
Sorry, BP, I was just going to say, do you remember the first time, so you've got your boat, your first Mini, number 579, I think it was, and you decide to go to sea for the first time. Do you remember that first time at sea, being on the boat by yourself, thinking, wow, this is the start? Do you remember anything like that?
With a Mini?
With the Mini. So when you first got the boat and you first went sailing overnight, you know, and you went on your first long trip, did you think, here we go, this is the start, this is where it all starts?
I think it was two memories. First, when we arrived to La Rochelle, I got a boat in La Rochelle, and we arrived for 3 days to put the boat in the water and to do first sailing. And when we arrived, it was -7 and snow. And we were, no, especially this week in La Rochelle. But yeah, we already had our plan. So we put boat in the water. I had to climb the mast to install the wind sensor under the snow and the 30 knots of wind. And I was like, do I do correctly?
What have I done?
Yes. But next day it was a little bit easier. It was about 20 knots and we went sailing. Still, it was a little bit cold. We had to clean it, to clean snow out of the deck.
A little bit cold.
Yes. After it was better, it was a bit more sun. It was more warm, but we dropped first time we hoisted with spinnaker. It disattached and we dropped it.
Oh,
so
wow.
It was a little bit mess, and I was feeling like probably I was too ambitious. But after step by step, we started to learn the boat. And my first solo sailing, when I probably finally was feeling it's starting. This is the beginning. I made qualification 24 hours. So you need to do the 24 hours qualification. Your solo, double-handed, or whatever sailing, you need to spend with your boat day and night. And I went to around one of the islands. I choose very nice weather, with wind not more than 10 knots, to be relaxed, to just try the boat, and it was amazing feeling. At that moment, I was feeling like, yes, I like it.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Good.
Yeah.
It is amazing feeling. There's no question. So.
Yeah.
So you made it. You made the Transat in 2019. So you got to do the Transat on that boat in 2019. Didn't end up perfectly for you. Was it harder than you thought, or was it? It was just you were so enmeshed in it that you didn't really take time to think about it. Because I think you lost your mast in that race, didn't you?
Yes, I lost my mast in first Transat, but at that moment I was already well prepared. Probably it was just bad luck, because my mast, it was not a mistake or something. Yeah, of course it was a squall, but boat is able to handle the squall and to be in a broach. It was one of the inner shrouds damage. It went out of the termination. So it was not manufactured correctly. So, but bad luck, the boat was prepared very well, and I was already feeling very confident with my boat. And sorry, I forgot.
Oh, that's all right. So, I mean, I'm trying to get us to this Transat. I'm trying to get us to this race, but I just want the listeners to understand that this is your second. Your first Mini Transat was 2019. You're sailing in a production version. You lost the mast. It fell down because there was, bad rigging. So, for this version of the Transat, you've got you're in a Proto boat, which is the faster class. It's not a brand new boat. But it's a fast boat, the one that you've bought. I think it's won the Transat before.
Yes, I might add, it's number 800, which is a famous boat. And when I saw you crossing the finish line, Irina, I went, she's got herself a weapon there, because that boat has got a massive life story to it.
Yes, and this boat is still very, very competitive, except reaching. So if you have reaching all the way, no chance compared to new boats. But as soon as we have strategy and VMG sailing, that's brilliant. We won a few races this season, and last season we were doing very, very well.
So how did you get this boat? What happened? How did this one come about? Did you get more sponsorship?
It was when I was doing my first Transat, I didn't plan to do another project because I was so tired, and mostly I was tired to search for money, honestly, because the project management took much more than I was thinking. Yes, I had to work. To do my daily job. I had to work on project management, on media. I had to do everything by myself, photo, video, social media, find sponsors, make contracts, try to make them happy, to see what do they want, how can I help them, and try to train. I did not have a coach. I was just by my own for 2 years. Try to prepare 2 races, try to prepare my boat. So I was very tired, and I did not plan to do another one. But when I have seen my masts falling down, I was like, okay,
unfinished business. Unfinished business. Yes.
I have to repeat, because it was so much effort I put, and I needed revenge. This is how we got 800, and I had very good partner in my first Mini Transat. It was insurance company who insured my boat, because it was registered in Russia at that time, and they paid total loss. And, thanks for them, I could invest this money to 800. So at the beginning, I just had not big money, but it was possible to start the project. And after, I was thinking, we will figure out. We will figure out. Most importantly, just to step in. And I wanted to improve again myself and my level. And I was thinking about more competitive serial boat. But again, it was a little bit too late to buy a boat, because when I got money from insurance company, it was already December. No boats on the market. And I was talking to my French friends, and they said, why not Proto? We will find a good boat for you.
Wow, love it.
Yeah.
Jeez, they did find you a good boat. You must have made some good friends.
Yeah. So we found this one. It was clear. It was in the market, so I have seen it. But it's sometimes it's not easy to really say, okay, I'm going for Proto, because you work much harder with Proto. You spend much more time on a parking or in a shipyard than in the water, unfortunately, and you need to be ready for it. But I wish to have. I wanted to learn to fly. With serial boat is good, but it's not the same feeling of flying. And with Proto, you have so many things to adjust. It's so much joy.
Yeah, awesome.
Everything is moving. Everything.
So prior to this Mini Transat, how long did you have with the boat for preparation for both yourself and the boat?
With 800?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a lot of time, because I started my new project with COVID, and we were not allowed to sail for a long time. We started sailing only in July, beginning of July last year, and all races, all calendar was moved to August, July, August, September, and some races in October. It was already quite tough weather in Britain, in Biscay. And I got my boat, but boat was not in a very good state, not in a very good condition after the previous owner, because obviously he did not have time and money to do something good for a boat, and we had to work hard, really hard. And at the end of the season, we broke a keel in 2 pieces. Yes, we broke a keel in 2 pieces, and hopefully it was after all most important races. And I had the feeling it's possible to repair before new season. But it was responsibility was on the side of previous owner, and it became very, very slow. And I got new keel only in June. Yeah, only in June. So again, I missed many races, and I was feeling very, very stressed. I could not train. I could not learn the boat. I could not race most important races at the beginning. And I had to spend a lot of time on the parking, just making boat more easy for me. So we changed some deck equipment, we changed some to make it like it's a hard boat. It shall be my maneuvers shall be easier. I shall not spend so much force doing simple maneuvers. So we did the big renovation on the boat, and we were spending all our time. Sometimes we were working in the night with torches, without weekends. Yes, so quite a lot of time. And after I tried to spend all time I could on water racing. So I took all races after. And we won many of them. It was amazing.
Wow,
it was
that's
amazing.
awesome.
Again, in that fleet, it is amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So with this edition of the race, going into the start of the Mini Transat for this edition, you knew that there was a major weather system coming through, and there was a decision that you had to get around Finisterre before that wind change. So, and it was really tough. From what I understand, crossing the bay was very tough conditions. Was it hard for you? Was it easy? Did you stay awake the whole time to make sure you got around the corner, or how did you approach the first part of the race?
Yeah, it was very, very clear. We need to be very fast to arrive to Cap Finisterre, to arrive to the Spanish coast. And the strategy was very, very clear, very easy. Honestly, it was a cold front, so you need to go to meet the front and try to sail down as fast as you can. Probably not doing the rumble line, not pointing to the mark, but just go down.
Yeah.
Because after the cold front, it was a patch of no wind, and it was a flow following the coast. So we had, after the cold front, we had to cross and arrive to the new wind flow.
Yeah.
And I think some boats who tuck before the front too early, this was a big mistake.
Okay.
Because, this was a big mistake of them. This is how we lost time, speed, and we had to go upwind tacking all the way. And for us, it was just almost one tack to the front and one way to the front, tacking and go down.
So it was really simple by the sounds of it. Just out you go and down.
And when you are experienced to meet fronts, you know how it looks. You really know when it arrives. You really know how it looks. You really know what it will be. Sometimes you can be confused with average wind speed or gas, but it's always the same. Cold front is quite easy, I think.
Yeah.
No, I think this is a really good sort of segue, if you like, to mention to those people who don't know much about minis. There is no updated weather systems, weather instrumentation on your boats. So all you have is a VHF radio, and you get a weather report. Now, modern technology makes, this sort of sailing a lot easier, if you like. But as you just said then, you know what it looks like and you know it's coming and you can see it. So you're having to actually be very much aware of your surroundings. So you sailed towards it, you knew it was happening, and then, you took off down the coast. So, the electronic side of things is very limited on these boats.
The only thing that can be tough is if it's too much wind in a cold front, more than you expect. And you always need to see if you are going to cold front, if you can handle this wind speed or not.
Yes. So,
and after you need to do just one tack. It's not easy to tack in a strong winds, but it's only one time you need to do and go down.
So for a lot of the fleet, though, only 4 of you made it there. So from what I understood, for a lot of the fleet, they were bashing around in quite rough seas, and it was light wind and strong wind, and it was quite tough sailing. It sounded like for you, it was very, very simple.
Yeah. Well, yes, for me it was very simple, and nothing to say really, because it was no any other option for me.
Yeah.
So what did you need to do?
What did you think when the rest of the fleet went and hit in the harbours, and you were off you were going? Because you would have been in that sort of northerly stream rushing down to the Canaries at that stage. So what'd you beat? It was almost 3 days between you and the next boat, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was. And when we passed Cap Finisterre, for some reasons I had the feeling after the gate will be closed.
Yes.
Now we are likely to pass, and after it will be like a gate. I did not know very well how the weather will be developed, but it was really this feeling.
Amazing.
It was amazing to watch, and we were obviously. I'm glued to it. I watch the tracker a lot, and you were. There was the 4 of you. You were about 80 or 90 miles behind third place in the end, but there was as Jordan said, days between you and 5th, and at what stage? At what stage did you sort of, you knew you probably weren't going to catch 3rd, but you were happy for 4th. You must have been so proud of yourself just to say 4th. I mean, in a Mini Transat to be in the top 10 is pretty incredible.
Yeah, for this first leg, I was a little bit disappointed, sorry, because at the beginning we expected northern winds all the time for us, all the way, and kind of VMG sailing and much more strategy. Mm-hmm. Some weather reports just after the Cap Finisterre told us it will be a lot of high pressure systems and a lot of ridges. So you really need to find your way to avoid slow winds, to find some flow which brings you. So for me, it was like, I have seen it like a slalom I need to do, and it was so interesting. And I started to prepare my strategy and everything, but new messages about the weather. It was like, okay, we get a cold front and it's just pushing everything out, and it will come, and very soon we will have a reaching. Wow. And no strategy, and for new boats, reaching is better, very more stable compared to my boat. So this is why I was a little bit disappointed, and still it was about 100 miles between me and the first one. But I was happy to pass the Cap Finisterre, very good, and to do good strategy at the beginning, which brought us to this position.
I do have to ask, coming into the Canary Islands, was it really easy to spot them with the volcano?
No, it was not visible.
You couldn't see it?
No, not at all. I was 30 miles away before the darkness, and I still did not see anything.
Oh, wow.
We thought,
what a letdown.
That's thrown our red sector joke out the window.
Oh, well.
Can you see it now?
Huh?
Can you see it now? Is it?
If you drive with a car to other side of the island, yes, you can see it. But you don't see any smoke here. We are now in eastern side.
Yes.
Marina is the eastern side, and you don't see any smoke. You don't feel anything. It's just ash on the streets. And sometimes when wind direction is changing, you get some new ash.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you go on the next leg, it's straight across to Guadeloupe. When do you leave for that?
29th of October.
And how are you feeling? Are you going to win this leg?
Well, in class mini, I think everyone will say the same. I will be happy to finish.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I will be happy to finish.
Yeah.
It's a long way. What is it? Still 3,000 miles or something? 3,500 miles?
Yes, and you really don't know what will happen to us, because each race about 10% abandoned.
Yes.
Most for technical reasons, electronics, electricity, or some breakage. So that 10%, 10-15%, it's quite high.
Yeah.
So on that, how is the boat? The boat is okay? No issues?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, my boat was prepared very well by my team, by me, and we didn't break anything in the first leg. I was feeling very, very good and confident. I could trust my boat. I got a totally new electricity setup, installation, everything, battery and all cabling. So it's very, very reliable. And I will try to do my best to do very good strategy and try to sail faster. Now it's a question of sail selection.
Yes. Into the trades, into the trade winds, and off you go.
BP, you've mentioned there's quite limited information coming to the boat. Are you allowed to take an iPhone, Irina? And you can catch up on a few other Baccarati episodes whilst you're at sea.
Sorry.
So, I mean, if you're ever looking to actually have a little snooze, because you probably get quite tired, you can play some Baccarati podcast episodes just to help you put you to sleep.
Yeah, sure. My friend actually advised me to listen something like this.
Well, we'll definitely put you to sleep. There's no question there.
So if people want to follow you and find you and your racing, because you'll have a lot of people listening to the show that will want to know more about you, where should they go to follow you and find out more about you?
I think the best is a Facebook page.
Yep.
My project has a name, Irina Gracheva Racing.
Yep.
So you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. But in YouTube, we are mostly in Russian.
Okay.
Honestly, on Facebook, right now we post. At the beginning, I was trying to post in Russian and English, but now it's so much information, and now it's in Russian. But you can translate. Google Translate always works.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's all right.
Some stories we really tell in English as well. Yeah.
We're all fluent in Russian. It's fine.
Quite fluent, so
yeah.
Very fluent and in French for that matter. Spanish is quite easy.
All
good.
Okay. Well, we're pretty excited to have had a chance to chat to you. I think we were quite impressed. We were very. I mean, the effort you've gone to and the amount of miles you've done at sea all by yourself, just phenomenal. And
blows us away.
Thank you.
In these ridiculous little mini things.
Many things.
Yes. So
you can't explain them. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. No. So we'll be cheering hard, and I think you'll get quite a few people start trying to follow you on your page. So thanks for coming on the show. It's been really good fun.
Thank you very much for inviting. It's a really big joy for me.
Yeah, Irina, have a good safe leg, but push it hard, and I hope you can achieve a really positive result.
Yeah.
Stay away from the volcano, Irina. Enjoy your few weeks before you take off again, and best of luck.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, once again, an amazing story of determination. The words were when she got off the boat was she was lazy and sick,
Lazy.
but still got fourth.
What, from her?
Yeah, well, that was her. What she sort of said in an interview. Now, whether that was a translation.
Lost it in translation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
No,
lost it in
but the
translation.
point is that she's, you know, when you were speaking to her then, you could tell that she really believes in herself. You can tell that she's not just making the numbers up. She's going for this. She's going to give this a real hard crack.
Yeah.
You know, and as I said in that chat, fourth or even top 10 in that fleet is it is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm so proud of her and great to have her on.
Yeah, magic job. It's one of the most incredible first stages of that mini transat. You know, it just blew my mind, that whole first leg. So I can't wait for the next level. I did have a good marketing idea whilst we were chatting for her.
Do tell.
Well, you know, with all the work we did on the Volvo, you know how beneficial it was for all the sponsors that brought their clientele in and took them out on the boats, and you know the size of the deals that were done. We know how successful it is. It's probably the most successful sort of corporate hospitality thing you've ever seen. I had an idea with what you could do with the minis around that, right?
Go on.
So what you could do is, if you're a large corporation and you have a client you want to get rid of,
Sponsor a mini.
Get
them down to volcano-ravaged bloody Canaries.
And take them out for a night of sailing.
Yeah. Oh, you'll love it. Let's go sailing down in the Canaries.
This will show you how valuable we consider you as a client.
You'll never, ever be seen again.
It's a no-brainer. That's how the minis should be pitching their corporate day events. But no, look, obviously taking the piss out of the minis for a bit of a laugh, but crazy little boats. But
it is a pathway though, and for those who are interested, it's well worth looking into. Even if you're from our side of the world, Australia, or there's America's for that matter, still attract a lot of interest. Probably worth just mentioning a couple of people over the line, if you will now. But the series division was an amazing thing. Did you guys catch up with that? What happened there?
I know you were fired up about it. I didn't.
Do tell, Brett.
I do
please,
tell. Okay.
do tell.
Well,
I can look at
one. It has been won.
What say you?
It has been won
by Melvin
a 19-year-old German called Melvin Fink.
Yeah,
mate.
What a name!
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
No joke. Just saying how it hasn't really picked up here in Oz. Back at the bar after a bit of yachting today, this was number one topic.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, this young fella. So,
yeah,
it needs individuals and characters like that to actually help with the promo. So, Melbourne,
nice
awesome.
work. Nice work.
Nailed it. Well, it was him and his Austrian mate Christian Cargill who decided to stay out there when everyone else was
that's
down
right.
their hatches and going into port.
Yeah.
So those two went out there and nailed it. So in actual fact, it's quite rare that this has happened, that a mini transit has been won by, in the series division, has been won firstly by a German, but second by an Austrian, with a French guy coming in third. So, it is getting a lot more international recognition and interest, and it's great to see.
Yeah, well, the problem is, BP, for the French is that, they're finishing the first leg finished on a Spanish island, so they couldn't get the fishing boats to sink anything that was in front, the German that was in front out. So, but going into Guadeloupe, of course, all things change. So
yes, that's right.
Expect a French winner, and a few collisions.
And while we're just on the mini, also there is quite a few women in the top 10, which is fantastic to see as well. So it was commented last week with Jess. It's not a male female thing at all.
No.
But to have them in the top 10 and have them in the fleet is phenomenal. So
Yep.
awesome race and another good month coming up.
Beauty. promoting club events. Let's give a little bit of a plug to the Bayside Sailboard Slaloms. We put a link up on our Facebook page. The boys, and I don't know if there's any women doing it, but a bit of slalom racing, the old-fashioned slalom racing that we all did for many years. And they've got their own coverage. They've got drones. They've got a camera boat. The camera boat is a foiling windsurfer, which is just zooming around with the fleet filming. It's quite funny. And they've done...
And to be honest, that's what you need.
It was really clever, actually.
I tried last week.
And a bit of commentary. So, yeah, we've put that up on the page, but good on them. Good to see that stuff happening. And, Bayside Sailboard Slalom. Jump in, go down. So, for those who don't know, Bayside is... in Queensland, Manly, the bay down there, near the Royal Queensland Yacht Squadron, just slightly to the north of the Yacht Squadron, you'll find probably, I assume that's where they launched, just up near the Darling Point Sailing Club. So, yeah.
Cool. And a cheerio out to Cozzy, obviously, is heavily involved there, Kevin Costin. So, all good.
Yeah, cool. All right. The Jack Lloyd Listener of the Week.
Jack Lloyd Listener of the Week. This week, we'll be handing it out to Dave Ballasty. First of all, get rid of the T in your last name.
Love it. So Dave Ballsy.
So Dave Ballsy may or may not be receiving a merchandise pack.
Good on you, Ballsy. Good on you, Ballsy.
Ballsy's picked up on some of our commentary about the clothing that we've been selling and the predominant size or the sizing that we're getting rid of. And he was listening to an alternate podcast. I can't believe you cheated on us like that, Ballsy.
I know, Ballsy. Come on, mate.
Basically, what he has listened to literally states that the larger the politician in any particular country, the higher the rate of
corruption.
Right? So, if we just break it down a little further, I can't believe we haven't got money in our bank accounts and people are trying to buy their way through the airwaves.
Yeah.
Because we are corrupt as all get out.
We are open
Not
to
to
it.
mention all our listeners. No wonder we get all the bloody Etchells on here as well. Etchells.
Oh, here we go. That's a good segue.
Good
but
point. Yeah,
it's true. It's true. We are a large group.
Ballsy, Balesti. Thanks, mate. Good little pickup.
Yeah,
Glad
nice.
you kind of joined the two dots there. And thanks for the commentary. Love it.
Love it.
Yep.
Cool.
And keep him coming because it makes us laugh.
BP, you know how we like to leave you out of things?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, this is a cracker, mate. You get it.
I've come up with an idea. You know, I like coming up with the occasional idea. If you go back to the 80s and think about, you're a man that tried to get your rock career going, right? Remember there were all these bands and people were trying to make it as in the rock world. And then an Australian group decided, you know what, let's not do rock. Let's pursue the child market, the kids market, and became the Wiggles. Do you remember?
Biggest band in Australia.
Yeah,
World. One of the biggest bands in the world.
One of the most profitable bands going. They pursued the kids market. BP, I think we're going to form Barkarati Kids. We're going to start chasing the child market.
Do we have to wear a bright coloured shirt or what are we going to do?
No, we don't because we got so much extra small and small. We got a shitload of merch for them. So
we got to try and fit in a small and an extra small T-shirt. Well, that'll be a good look for a start.
What colour are you going to be?
I'll be Mr. Blue.
You'll be blue. You'll be blue Barkaratian.
You were inspirational last week, BP, with your sailing in the Sabo. You're already gone that way, so there's no point resisting.
No, that's right.
Yeah, I might go kind of more the orange.
Mr. Orange.
Well, none of us can wear orange except for you.
Jay, you can be Mr. Pink. I don't want to be Mr. Pink. I hate Mr. Pink.
So that's it. I think this is one of our ideas, Barkarati Kids. It's not fully formed, obviously. Nothing's ever fully formed, and it may or may not get up. But Barkarati Kids...
In all honesty, though, for any listeners out there who know a little absolute legend
Oh, yeah, that's a good
of the
point.
sport,
We do want
reach
to.
out to us because we'd love to do a pod with he or she on, and just to
a younger person.
just get their aspect.
Yeah.
a young
absolutely.
person.
We want to try and bring a few more youth voices onto the program. Is effectively where we're getting to.
What
I
a
guess.
good idea.
Yeah. So
I'll
if you
try
have
tidy up on the F-bombs a little bit.
yeah, you might have to. But yeah, if you've got someone like that, send them to us because it'll be good fun. It'll be good fun, we reckon. It's a big time of the year for sailing in Australia, where we're based at the moment. It's opening season. All the yacht clubs having their opening days. It's
Open season.
open season. That's right.
It's open season. Be very, very quiet.
Speaking of which,
rabbits.
and on the opening of the show, I mentioned some of the prizes that were handed out, but I forgot possibly one of the greatest prizes. For the SA Male Yachtsman, or SA Yachtsman of the Year, goes to the great David Snowden.
Really?
Yeah.
He picked it up yesterday down at Brighton.
Didn't you see that?
No.
So congratulations, Snowdy. I don't have the actual transcript in front of me that I wrote when I did nominate him, so we could take the piss out of him on the show.
Oh, dear.
SA Yachtsman of the Year.
Wow. Jeez,
Last year, Basher of the Year.
Oh.
Now, there is a formula going on. Last year, I did the bash with him. Last year, I sailed with him. Hey?
Oh, yeah. I know where you're going.
What are you doing with
what's
him this
happening
year?
here?
What are you doing with him this year?
Well, I'm not sure how we're going to win Bachelor of the Year. That's next.
You might win.
Beck, hopefully Beck doesn't.
He might win Fall Driver of the Year. You went Fall Driving with him this year.
He might become the defender president or something.
No. In all seriousness, between 5-0s, Sharpies, big boats, everything, he's fully into it. And not only just from a sailing side, but the support side as well with sponsorship and stuff like that. So
Yeah, cool.
that's going to piss a whole lot of people off that I know. Thinking we're giving him a bit too much of a rap, but he also knows how many people this is going to piss off too.
All right.
So, well done.
Very good.
SailGP again. We're off and away with SailGP. We'll get one of the sailors off. We were trying to go this week, but we couldn't fit it all in. It was too much. So, but SailGP in Spain. So the first time they've been sailing in Spain, and the ladies are on the boats. Are we happy with that?
Love it.
Yep. Love it.
My daughter came out and sat with me this morning and watched the replay yesterday.
That's a dream.
And
I love it.
she came out and I was saying that, look, that's Nina Curtis and that's so-and-so and that's,
Yeah.
we went through it all. And
It's a fairly talented bunch of women that have stepped onto the boats, isn't it?
Here.
certainly is.
So
I would have to watch they don't get their gold medals all hooked up in the grinders.
particularly that Pommy boat. Jeez. That's the two winningest, the most gold medals or the most medals for a female sailor and the most medals for a male sailor on that boat alone. So
That's
More
just
riding
asking
all
for
the way
major
to weather.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
fantastic. Oh, look,
you'd hate to go in the water, wouldn't you?
but look, it's a great event going, great guns, obviously. So when we're recording this, they're just about to start day 2. I think so. We only know really. We're not going to go into the results. Effectively, the Aussies are winning. Really good battle in throughout the races. Lots of different teams winning. 3 teams winning the 3 races. So it's still great sailing. I think the only thing that concerns me is that they've really picked light wind. They've just had light wind regatta after light wind regatta, and we want to see. Remember last year at the end there where we got that one in
Cows.
In Cows, where it was just nuking. That's what we want, isn't it?
We do.
I don't know how do you reckon Cootsy's organised this, just to keep the insurance costs down, or what? Has he got a direct
Servers paying the best money, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah, it always works in yachting.
yeah, I know.
But it's never like this. The weather's never like this.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't like this here this time last year.
But
No, it's a fickle sport, and especially the format, having to literally fit it in over 2 or 3 days. It doesn't allow for much wiggle room or any for that matter. So
yeah, but
there's no other. I don't think there's any silver bullet or special solution.
yeah,
And it's a bit of hit and miss, I'm afraid.
At the end of the day, it's sailing, right? And unfortunately, it can be a spectator sport for for all those who want to see action and bust ups. But it is sailing, so
look,
we as sailors, we know that it's all conditions. So.
yeah, but I do wish it was windy. I really do, because after this we've got quite a gap. Because remember, we lost the New Zealand event, so the New Zealand event is gone. The next event on the calendar is in Sydney, mid-December. We don't know if that's going to go ahead. New South Wales, where it's going to happen, is determined to open up, but I don't know. I think it might go ahead, but it's going to be hard for anyone from the rest of us. I don't think anyone else in the rest of Australia is going to come into New South Wales. We're just going to watch your little.
Put it this way: if there was any state
that we're willing to sacrifice,
it's New South Wales, right?
That's going to get it done. Yeah.
Yeah, but be running at 20,000 cases a day by then.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And the rest of Australia will sort of not be letting that happen. So we'll just watch that little festering Petri dish, just see what happens.
Well, it all starts tomorrow at 12 o'clock down at the Drummoyne Sailing Club. So
mate, it already started last night on Bondi Beach. Did you not? They went a bit crazy down on Bondi Beach.
I don't want to talk about other people. I'm going to talk about us.
Yeah.
So, yep, Drummoyne Sailing Club tomorrow. First beer ever poured in the bar. Looking forward to it.
Excellent. Congratulations to Drummoyne with their new setup. But yeah, so enjoy the GP in Spain. The next one is 2 months away, and it may or may not happen. But then after that, it's not till they gets to the States in March. So there could be quite a large gap. I guess if there is, Outridge would be pretty happy because he gets to go home and see his kid. Or maybe they're travelling with him. I hadn't thought of that. But yeah, so just enjoy it. But let's hope for a win for the last one. So where are they doing? Actually, where are they doing it in the US? Do we know?
Nah, couldn't tell you.
I'm just trying to find out while we're talking in the US. I was just wondering if it was in San Francisco. And then
That'll be windy.
yeah, cold and windy.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to find it. Can't find it. It's it might be San Francisco. There you go, San Francisco.
And San Francisco win it. Well done.
Awesome. So that'll be great fun. So yeah, happy days. All right, let's get to BP's favourite topic.
Oh, yeah.
Etchells.
Etchells.
You little
Etchells.
Hey, BP, I know we're going for the sports promotion board and stuff,
Right.
but there was no need to write that article that was published this week.
Yeah, I know. I spent weeks on that. And in fact, that's been festering since June last year.
So basically, gloves are off,
Yeah.
boys.
In short, it's happened.
So,
Wow.
let's first, I'll set the scene a fraction. So Sail World, which is a fantastic publication, media publication that talks sailing all the time, the website Sail World, sail-world. John Curnow, who's a journo in Australia, wrote an article about the whole story, what's been going on. And I mean, we've been on this one since the start, as we all know, and basically he was focusing in on that element that none of the other boat moulds have been able to provide. World Sailing has showed that they're actually officially registered moulds. And that's
right.
Legal action now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is.
So basically, that calling for retract the March 10th decision
Yep.
or seeing court mofos.
Yep. And
That's it in a nutshell.
And the fact that, we've been talking about this right through the whole thing, and now I think some of the other media are jumping onto it because they see it and they've seen a lot of this. Don't know what's going to happen, but it's a good article. If you want to actually know more, if you're interested, jump on it and have a bit of a look.
I think I agree. It's a good article, depending where you sit, though.
Yeah, I agree. But so we know where this is the honest truth. BP is in the Mould 11 camp. Because you've got a Mould 11 boat. You sail with a great bloke who's very keen. He's put a lot of effort. You've done all the training. You've seen all the different boats, and that's highlighted in that article. How it doesn't matter. They had John Bertrand quoted in the article. It didn't matter what boat you're on. It was all about the rig. Okay, Bicey, you're in the other camp. What have you? You don't even know what your boat is, do you?
It's a white one.
The white one.
Yeah, the white one.
No. My camp there is a very blatant clause in the Constitution that says you cannot manipulate within the tolerances to make a faster boat, which has happened, which is so unfortunate, though, for those 24 Mould 11 owners and who have been, by not to be taken the wrong way, they are the ones that have copped the brunt of this.
But there's also a whole lot of evidence that was put forward showing that the other boats have all been manipulated as well.
Yeah.
And whereas I sit in none of the camps, and my current theory, with all respect to every Etchell owner out there, is if you've got a white Etchell, you're a cheat.
Yep.
Or you're sailing a cheater boat, not you. So I'll rephrase that. Not you're a cheater, you've got a cheater boat.
I think we can all agree on that.
And we definitely do. And so it is my goal to get back out of the water and go sailing. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
That's all everyone wants to do.
And all we want to do. But it's blowing out a little bit now. And I think legal action, unless this change for the ruling.
To the Grant Simmer, Schnackenberg and co. Looking forward to their findings. I'm not sure where that stands from a legal point of view, or how that works. But
well,
we will keep an eye on it.
We will keep an eye on it, and we'll keep a very close eye on it because I want to come to Adelaide.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all. That's really all it's about for me. Getting down there and sailing
in any of you bloody New South Walians. Drag your bloody virus down here.
No, I've got a South Australian passport.
Yeah, you've got New South Wales virus. You've been corrupted.
No, I'm immunised from that, from the New South Wales version.
Yeah. I love it. Anyway, I think just if you haven't got your head across it, get across it because it's going to blow up, and it does flow on to other classes because there's elements of this that I'm sure all the other classes have the exact same problem with, not having valid certificates, not being audited, the whole thing. It's
the big thing is what World Sailing and the governance group do, how they respond. The fact of the matter is they haven't responded, which is why it's infuriating, and that's the part of it. Anyway, we're going to wait and see.
Now, the next topic obviously is in French. Do you want me to do it in Aussie, an Aussie version of French, or do you want me to do it like the French would pronounce?
No, full French, thanks.
Saint Troppers.
No, Les Voiles, Saint Troppers, Les Voiles, Saint Tropez. Yeah,
Le Voile,
Saint Tropez. Look.
Wow.
You're welcome.
It's very cool, huh? Lots of maxis racing around.
Mate, some fantastic shots.
The footage of Comanche, did you see that?
Comanche, they're just the massive surfboard.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, I've been searching for results. I found a page in French that has been translated, so it's actually quite fun reading.
Yeah.
But I see one Magic Carpet, which has been a season campaigner for many years. I'd love to know how long the Magic Carpet, not the current boat, but his predecessing boats as well, has been on the circuit. But they were there. They're the ones took it out against Rambler and Comanche in IRC. J class Topaz.
Yep. There's a couple of J's there.
Yeah.
I think the wind lightened off.
RC3.
It was windy initially and lightened off a bit, so it's changed the results a little bit.
Yeah. But you're still seeing the kind of the same boats at the pointy end of the fleet.
Yeah, sure.
Lyra in the IRC3.
Yeah.
And the Wallies. So yeah.
Big boats.
But big boats, big budgets. No one gives a shit about how much a rum and coke costs at the Cafe de Paris when you're running shit like that.
Oh dear, I love it. Anything else, boys?
No. Well, heads up, tees and hoodies. Only got a couple sizes left, which probably we'll just do another run with some bigger kit.
In the big
boys.
Stuff. Do a muscle tee for my missus.
Do a muscle tee for your missus, all right? Absolutely. I think that's their 6-year anniversary. So tell her to stand by.
Mate, she loves that Barcarati hoodie. She just roams around singing in it. Like, it's crazy how much she likes it. It's bizarre.
It does have that effect on people.
I love it.
Wow.
Cool. All right, another great week. We got anyone good next week?
Oh, yeah, we've got a few
Yeah.
to choose from.
Yeah, we're going all right.
Apart from yours truly. Not sure.
Oh,
Talking of good, get the guitar out. BP.
oh let's get the
on.
guitar.
Yeah, right.
Fire it up.
Where are you going to come in, BP?
Yeah, no, start now. Probably about just about. Well, just put it on. I'll tap in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. I'll come in now.
You've got so little time, BP. See you later, everyone. Thanks for listening. And, thanks for being part of it. We love it. We love everything you do. All the feedback you send.